you are considering becoming a real estate agent, or if you are in school right now and you're like, how much money am I going to make? How much out of each paycheck am I going to actually keep? This is a video for you. I'm going to cover the mistakes that real estate agents make that I have seen from other people, that I have learned, luckily not from personal experience, because the best way to learn from a mistake is have that mistake be someone else's mistake, and you don't even have to ever go through that. So starting with the most expensive, well, all these could be expensive, but starting from one of the biggest mistakes that I see real estate agents make with money is they start paying for leads right out the gate before they even have a foundation of how to even work with clients. If you're in school right now, start telling everyone you know you are going to be a real estate agent. If you're out of school and you're already licensed, you should be telling everyone you know. Everyone should know your name, real estate, your name, agent. A lot of people think that because they don't have instant leads that they should start paying for leads. And that is not the right way, in my opinion. All this is just my opinion. If you're trying to save a buck and you're trying to profit and make money with low cost, do not turn on the faucet for leads, because the worst thing you can do is start paying for leads, whether that's Zillow or Redfin or paying your team leader for leads, or whatever it is. If you turn on paying for leads and you don't even know how to work with a buyer or work with a seller yet, or if you do but you can't handle volume, you're going to be lighting money on fire. The best thing you can do is work with people that already like you and trust you. They have a little bit more, typically, a little bit more patience with you as you're getting started in this business, and it's a free lead because you already know them. You don't have to convert them until you have the checklist of how exactly to work with buyers step by step, work with sellers step by step, starting with how to even find them. What do you even bring to your listing appointment? How do you even get a listing appointment? What to say at the listing appointment? How to properly advertise and market their property? How to help them net more? And then how to get a 5-star review every single time and have them become a repeat client for life. Until you have those entire checklists, whether you make it yourself or you join me at eXp Realty and I give them to you for free, no cost, there's no team split. Until you have that foundation, don't turn on the faucet to pay for leads. Another huge way that I see real estate agents losing money deals with taxes. They don't save for taxes. And by the time they have to pay taxes the next year or April, whatever, they owe $20,000, $30,000, and they don't have that readily available when they could have had they followed the profit first system. Everyone in my community, 5 Pillars community, is a fan, and we at least implement some sort of version of profit first in our own systems. And in case you've ever heard of the book, here, this is Profit First, Mike Michalowicz. Michalowicz, I always get it wrong. Highly recommend. This has to be one of your first 3 books that you read. I always recommend this book. Now, I personally do a modified version of this, but if you want to go to the extreme, buy the book. I actually have a whole review of this book telling you how to do it step by step on this channel, or you can just buy the book and do it yourself. I'm going to give you the modified version of how to help yourself with taxes and profit first right here. Out of every paycheck that you get, you should be putting money into 4 different categories. Again, this is my modified version, quick and dirty. 1% goes to your profit. And this profit, like, how do you define profit? What do you do with profit? Profit is not going to be reinvested back into your business. Your profit is for fun. It's to save up for a cruise. It's to get weekly massages. It's to pay for another, engagement ring. It's fun activities. You should be rewarding yourself. And I am preaching to myself right now because I don't do a good job of that. So that's 1%. 25% of your paycheck should be put aside for taxes. If you have the opportunity to live in one of the great states, I think it's great states, but the states that are taxed higher, California, New York, instead of 25%, do 30%. Then put 50% away for operating expenses. Now, what the hell is that? It's paying for your business. It's the cost of your monthly CRM, your $85 a month for EXP, your videographer, your photographer, any sort of editing system that you have, ManyChat, the blue check for Instagram and Facebook or whatever, your virtual assistants, whatever it costs for you to run your business. When you're first starting out, don't get a VA for everything right away. Take things slow, see what you can do, see what you don't like doing, and then hire out what you don't like doing. And lastly, the last 24% should be for owner compensation, or OC. This is what you actually are left with yourself to pay bills, to eat, to shop for clothes, to pay your mortgage, your car. Now, if you do live in one of those higher tax states, still do 1% for profit minimum. You're going to be working your way up to 10% profit, but start off, in case you've never heard of this, 1% profit, 30% for taxes, 45% for operating expenses, and 24% for owner compensation. As you start building every single quarter, you should go 1% higher in profit and kind of readjust the rest. At the end of a couple of quarters, it may take you longer, it may take you shorter, but make sure that you take your time and you stick with it. That's the whole premise of the book. Slow changes with this. You will eventually work up to, out of every paycheck you get, 10% will go into profit, aka having fun, 25% taxes, or 30, 40% operating expenses, and 25% owner compensation. These 4 buckets, by the way, should be in different bank accounts. So that way it's not all in one bank account, which leads me to mistake number 3, which is agents don't know how much money they actually have in their account. How much money are they actually profiting every single month? Mistake number 4, do not let temporary great months of income turn you into a slave to fixed long-term debts. What I mean by that is, say you're used to having 5 closings a month, but one month you have 11, like more than double what you're used to, maybe an extra 50, 100K in the bank, and you turn that extra money that you have into fixed long-term debt, aka a brand new car, a second home, a vacation home, a boat, a timeshare. Don't do that. If you're going to be spending a lot of, extra money that you have that is profit, like for you for fun, after you have already reinvested back into your business and you've already set aside money for taxes, which I'll get into in the next point, don't get yourself locked in to a loan. Instead, either pay for it cash or use that money for one-time expenditures. A cruise that you pay for obviously in cash, a car that you can pay for in full, a weekend getaway, or what I do, put that shit into index funds, wait for that to pile up until you can put enough for a down payment or pay for a property in cash, and then do that. But I have to say this again, do not let a couple of months of you having great income let you believe that that is now your baseline. It's not. Even if you have 5 great months, you're gonna have some low months, so you have to save that money aside, or at least some of the money aside. You have to have a financial runway. If and when your pipeline ever dries up, you have money to take care of yourself. The next point is taxes. Pay quarterly taxes. I am not a tax accountant. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a professional in that at all. In my own random opinion from somebody that you're listening to on YouTube, I would create an irs.gov account in case you don't already have one and pay taxes quarterly. Talk to your accountant, talk to your CPA. If you need a recommendation, let me know. And whatever amount they tell you that you're going to be taxed at, pay that amount every single quarter. So if you have 5 closings a month times 3 months in a quarter, whatever that 25% or 30% of all those commission checks are, which is set aside in a separate bank account, growing and growing, at the end of every quarter, take that full amount and pay it toward your quarterly taxes. That way, when you're filing your taxes, you don't all of a sudden have a $25,000, $30,000 bill. Instead, you may have like a $2,000 bill because you've been paying along the way. Another mistake that real estate agents make is as they are in the business, they start forgetting of how hard they worked in the first couple of years and how cheap they were able to work for the first couple of years. So they start kind of graduating themselves in their mind and they're thinking, oh, I don't need a door knock anymore. I don't need to do open houses. That's for new real estate agents, even though it works. And they're like, you know what? Let me just kind of sit back and I'd rather pay for more convenience and get leads that way. And that can get you in trouble. So before you eliminate anything that works just because it's tiring for you, hello, welcome to entrepreneurship, make sure that you have the ROI for every single lead generation strategy. You should know how much you're paying every single month to do open houses and how many closings that has led to you year to date. How much have you spent total on your YouTube channel, and how many closings has that led you year to date? How much year to date have you spent on Instagram, boosting stuff, or Zillow leads, and how much has that given you year to date? Which is the highest percentage, and go ham on that. And which is the lowest percentage. And if you don't like doing the lowest percentage, either pass it off to somebody else or just eliminate it completely and double down on the top 3 that work. I have these calls all the time with the agents in my community where I help them one-on-one, and they have group coaching, group accountability calls, but I help them with their finances, not that I have to, but because they want to improve and I have the knowledge, and we are a community of people that are smart with money. Everyone in my upline of my EXP family is a real estate investor. My sponsor, Shelby Johnson, had 74 rental properties properties at one point. Now she's selling a lot of it off. Her sponsor, Ruben Garcia, also invests in real estate. His sponsor, Micah Mruat, also is a real estate investor. They all make well more than I do. So I know that I joined the right group at the right time because there's always someone ahead of me and someone that's consistently doing what I want to do. So if I could be that person to anyone else, I am all about it. As I have said in other videos, I'm not the hand-holdy type of person, but if you choose to name me as a sponsor when you join eXp Realty, not only will you have me as a sponsor for life, but I will be your mentor for life if you do the tasks and the homework that we decide on. You know, that goes with anything in life. There's no reason for somebody to go out of their way and schedule a 45-minute or 30-minute Zoom call and give you their time when they could be with family, when they could be making more business, when they could be relaxing. And it's just like a slap in the face when sometimes I meet with people and they're like pumped, right? They're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And I'm like, sweet, okay, yep, do XYZ like we just talked about. Let me know how it goes. And then weeks or months go by and then they ask me again about the same question. And I'm like, dude, I thought we talked about this. Like, where are you at with the XYZ that we spoke about? Oh, well, you know, I didn't do it. That is the best way to lose a mentor for life. So if your brokerage or your real estate community does not talk about this every single day, join us. We have trainings every single day on top of eXp's 60 or 50 hours of training every single week. Please don't make these financial mistakes. I know that these are just a couple. There are so many other mistakes that you can get into, which actually one of them, by the way, is signing up for those real estate leads. You only pay at the very, very end. There are so many. Some of them are good. Some of them are not. Not from my experience, but just from what I've heard. Be very, very careful. There are a lot of scams out there, and I don't want you to get sucked into one of them. So if you want to join my community, the link is below. You can apply right away. As soon as I see your application come through, you will be onboarded and given all of your checklists. Of course, that's once you are a licensed real estate agent. If you're considering switching brokerages, if you want me to have that conversation with your prior broker that you plan on leaving, I'm more than happy to do that. If you're not 100% convinced to switch over, watch my other YouTube videos. I make these videos for you to help you. Whether or not you end up choosing to work with me or partner with me, totally fine. I do pour into those that join me and partner with me at eXp. So if you want to book a Zoom call, that link is also below. See you in the next video.